Hello everyone, I am a student from class 9. Today I and my group members will represent a short PowerPoint presentation on the topic making of the Indian Constitution. So let's get started with a short introduction on it. The Indian Independence Act 1947 resulted in the end of supremacy of British Parliament and consequently made the Indian state sovereign. First step in this direction was the making of the Constitution. But seeing the size and the diversity of the land, it was Herculean task. To solve this dilemma, the freedom fighters turned leaders were onto the task in no time. This project will unveil the events which are major milestones in this arduous journey of drafting a constitution and giving it to people.
Here are some of the important dates which helped in the framing of the Constitution. In 1992, a joint meeting of members of the two houses of the Central Legislature was held at Shimla. Here it was decided to call a convention for framing of Constitution for the Dominion of India. In 1928, the All Parties Conference convened a committee to prepare the Constitution of India. In June 1934, the Congress Working Committee decided to prepare a constitution. In 1940, the British for the first time announced that the framing of the new constitution should be primarily the responsibility of Indians themselves.
Cabinet mission. The British government sent in March 1946 a cabinet mission to India. One of the recommendations of this mission was the proposal for the purpose of a new constitution. A constituent assembly was to be elected. This proposal was accepted, and in July 1946, election to the Constituent Assembly took place. The Indian Independence Act 1947. This act came into force on August 15, 1947, when the British rule in India came to an end.
The struggle for independence was thus over by 15 August 1947, but the attainment of independence was not an end itself. It was only the beginning of a struggle, the struggle to live as an independent nation and at the same time establish a democracy based on the ideas of justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. The need of a new constitution forming the basic law of the land for the realization of this idea was paramount. Therefore, one of the first ideas undertaken by independent India was framing of a new constitution.
As provided in the Cabinet Mission Plan, the Constituent Assembly came into being in November 1946. Its members were elected by the Provincial Assembly by indirect election. It is to be noted that Constituent Assembly could not be called a sovereign body. It was brought about by the British government and be abolished by it. According to the terms of Indian Independence Act of 1947, it became a sovereign body. It was not to work within the framework of the Cabinet Mission Plan. It was free to frame any constitution it pleased.
Important members of the Constituent Assembly were Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Patel, Maulana Azad, Gopal Vaswamy Iyengar, Govind Balapan, Abdul Ghaffar Khan, T.T. Krishnamachari, Aladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, H.N. Kunzru, Sri H.S. Gaun, K.V. Shah Masani, Acharya Kripalani, Dr. Ambedkar, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Dr. Jayakar, Liaquat Ali Khan, Khwai Nazimuddin Sir, Firoz Khan Noon, Suhrawardi Sir, Zafarullah Khan, Dr. Sachidananda Sinha.
The first meeting of the Assembly was held on 9th December 1946 as the Sovereign Constituent Assembly for India. On December 11, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected its permanent chairman. The Assembly made substantial progress and adopted the Objective Resolution, which later became the preamble of the Constitution. It appointed various committees to deal with different aspects of the Constitution. The report of the committees formed the basis on which first draft of the Constitution was prepared. On August 29, 1947, a drafting committee of 7 members was set up under the chairmanship of Dr. Ambedkar.
The draft constitution was published in January 1948. The people of India were given 8 months to discuss the draft and proposed amendment. As many as 7,635 amendments were proposed and 2,473 were actually discussed. The Constituent Assembly held 11 sessions. The draft constitution was considered for 114 days. In all, Constituent Assembly sat for 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. The Constitution of India was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949 and signed by the President Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Articles 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 324, 366, 367, 372, 380, 388, 391, 392 and 393 came into force at once. The remaining provisions of the Constitution came into force on 26 January 1950, which is the date of the commencement of the Constitution.